Out there, Talking Shit Tuesday. That's right, Talking Shit, the OG show. They got everything started, putting people in their place. Manufacturers can't get away with lies anymore because I see the bullshit that you guys talk, and then I have more data than anyone through Lund Racing to be able to refute half of the shit you guys say. So, what I like to talk about is many things that happened today. We talked VMP, talked today about another video talking about the tale of two superchargers. The ZR1 is going to supposedly get pushed out to actually Thursday. Thursday, you're going to start seeing some stuff about the ZR1, and then Mustang prices have gone way up. Now, next year, you're going to see a good chunk of increase of prices to the tune of over $2,000 each. So that's going to be something you're going to have to contend with if you want an untunable Mustang that you could only put either a Whipple Supercharger or a Rous Supercharger on. And the problem is it's starting to creep up in the area of cars that are really nice cars. So you're going to have to make that decision. Do I want to buy a Mustang I can't tune, or I can just get myself into something like a BMW that is tunable, can go quicker with less mods? I don't have to buy a $10,000 or $12,000 supercharger at 12 PSI. That is totally safe for cats. Like you and I both know there have been no catalytic converter failures on any stock Mustang at 12 PSI. Right? Not one motherfucking catalytic converter failure. And also, we're going to talk about the Cybertruck being the 5th or 6th most registered vehicle since its inception. Forget putting it up against the F150 Lightning. The most registered vehicle, number 5 or 6 in the US since it actually came out. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly. Where the fuck do I have it? Did I get rid of Bill O'Reilly? No, I didn't. Here we go.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
You know, it always sucks. And I appreciate that Mr. Bill O'Reilly brings it to our attention. DNAPperformance.com. DNAP Performance, the online parts house for the show. If you're going to buy anything, go to DNAPperformance.com. Mention the show at checkout. They might give you a nice little kickback. Hey, yo, Caliber Transmission, CaliberTransmission.com. 3160s, D4 and 32s, 11 to 17. Say 3s can handle 900 plus horsepower. Your cheapest option for going quick on a manual Mustang Coyote version, Caliber Transmission. LMP of MD, LMP, car's running good. No issues yet. We're going to do some 680 130 testing maybe next week sometime. PMAT! Nick James and PMAT, the best cola intakes on the planet. Part Farm, hashtag Ydbt at checkout. You get a little chunk of change off at partfarm.com. MFE of Australia, Two Auto Solutions, and Bellac. My God. My throat is, the problem is I don't talk all day, and then the first time I do talk, it's during the show, and my vocal cords are shit. They're not warmed up. They get warmed up about halfway through. D-Rock Fox, Leon Phelps, Monty 540, Nick B. Levesh, 101 RTR, Clint Stroke, 99, Jeremiah Camp, I think, Clean 93 GT, Anthony Rizzi a couple of times, Fernando Perez, Gallo Bravo, Valley 10 Speed, still with that ESS shit. I mean, I'm blown away that people are talking shit at all on Valley 10 Speed. There's another fucking clown out there that was like, I was quicker than him, heavier. I'm like, how come no one's ever heard of you? I never seen you anywhere, but you're talking all that jazz. And then he, in one breath, he says, why do you pump up Valley 10 Speed so much? I'm like, because he's a good dude. He's easy to deal with, and he promotes the product better than anybody else. I'm not saying he's the best racer on the planet. I'm just saying he promotes the shit out of the product. And the car went into the 60 to 130 with a bitch-ass kit. And this guy's like, I went quicker. Then where the fuck are you? Nobody's seen ya. Who are you? Peasant Jeff, Stuart EPA, Ignacio Ramirez. My God, why is my voice fucking shit now? Rodney, Michael Rodriguez, Adonis, Andy EPA says, I remember paying $28,000 for a brand new 14 GT off the showroom floor. A base Mustang is now $47K. My white car, my 19 GT performance package base was $38,000. KH50, I'm hung, JD Swag, Brandon VRT, Kobe, 101 RTR, Michael Locks, Ski Mask Man, Q, stuck doing double today because a Mexican turned into a Mexican, but at least I'll catch this live. Holy shit, the racism. Nardi Mercado, Matt Benoit, Garage Build Coyote, Jared, Tim O, CJM, AJ, Rigo, Michael Rodriguez, Red Dead, Peter Chow, Nardi Mercado again, Peter, D-Rock Fox, Alfredo, Edwin Martinez. What's up, Edwin? I haven't seen you in forever. Someone just dropped the TRT fund. Thank you so much. So I can get my ass going on TRT. I got the air conditioner in the garage. It immediately knocked down the humidity that happens. And I already got a hose going out the bitch. I got a drain hose and a pan. Everything is good. So I think I'm going to be good for the summer working in the garages. Not dying, pumping hot air into it from the outside. The fan simply isn't enough. I need cool air, at least less humidity. So I got that figured out. Thank you guys for putting in a good word as to which ones to get. I got a 14 or 13,000 BTU Honeywell portable air conditioner. Everything worked out super good. So if you do a simple Google search, you're going to find videos and a bunch of articles about the following. 2025 is going to see a price increase on Mustang. 4-cylinder Mustangs keep their same starting prices, but they lose the 2.3-liter high-performance package. For 2025, the Ford Mustang costs more than before if you're opting for the V8 models. The GT trim starts $2,600 higher than the last year, with the Dark Horse Premium now $69,870, up $3,600. Now, imagine you want a Mustang. You want a performance vehicle. Forget V8. Because Dodge is now offering an inline-six twin turbo. BMW offers the same thing. And no V8 muscle cars or V8 pony cars or anything V8 in that price range. If you want to go V8 and fast, it's Chevy stuff at, I don't know, $70,000 plus or high 60s. Actually, let me do this. 2024 C8 Corvette price. Wow, Jesus Christ. A 2LT is $90,000. Wow, so they're crazy expensive. That's the problem. The next viable option is high 5 figures, low 6 figures. So you're looking at a Mustang premium Dark Horse, let's say, close to $70,000 out the door. Taxes, title, destination, registration, all the bullshit. And if you opt for the better brakes on the GT, you're going to pay big money. So that bumps you into BMW M2 territory in terms of pricing. Now, the BMW M2 is a $67,000 car in 2024. Tunable, twin turbo, inline six. You're a downpipe, lab coat, an E50 and a tune away from running well into the 9s, supposedly. Now, this is the rear-wheel drive. Maybe the all-wheel drives are a little better. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. But if you want to go fast, wow, there goes my voice. If you want to go fast, now, the BMW, if you want a newer vehicle, the BMW is what you get, right? Because it's tunable. You can get after it. People are supporting it. Pure Transmissions and getting after it with transmission stuff. There's M2, M4, comp this, comp that, all-wheel drive. There's a bunch of options. They're all tunable, but this is something that's going to be in that wheelhouse that maybe kind of gets you by if you want to, buy new tunable performance vehicles. The Mustang is not tunable. The only tune you can get on it is a Whipple tune or a Rous tune with their supercharger. Now, people are asking me, Alex, why don't you talk about the Rous supercharger only offering a 30-something pound injector? It's on pump gas. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think that kit was designed for people that want to pulley down and get after it. Whipple, I think, is doing a big mistake by selling it as a kit you can upgrade to make big power. Understand, the vast majority of people want a warranty. Don't you understand that? Like, the vast majority of people that we tune, do you think they're 1,100 horsepower twin turbo cars that run 7s or 1,300 horsepower cars that run 7s? No, it's the pump gas basic car. The vast majority of people we tune, and we are by far the highest volume tuner on the Coyote platform, are regular guys. JLT intake, PMAS intake, 18 manifold, long tubes, and they live a happy life for many years. And then maybe they bump up to E85. So if you're selling a supercharger, in my opinion, you should be selling it as the most reliable. And if you want to upgrade it, then you can go ahead and do that. But the problem is this. There's an elephant in the room with those superchargers too, especially Whipple. No car is going to survive at 12 PSI stock catalytic converters with whatever tune you're offering you almost have to go out of your way as Whipple and say, I wouldn't run this pulley combo and this supercharger unless you have long tube headers, aka not emissions legal. And there you go. Se acabó el party. There goes all of your selling points about cardio, all this bullshit. If you want to make more power than the Odin, you have to configure it in such a way that it is not emissions legal. Which again, VMP put out another stupid fucking video. And I don't even know why they put out that video. They basically put out the video telling you the Rous inlet is not our design, aka it's not as good as it could be because the Whipple is better. Wait a minute. You had an opportunity to design something up against the previous Whipple superchargers, right? You had the Gen 5, which is pretty close. The difference would be a lid, but in terms of the entry, in terms of the how it gets its air, how it feeds the rotors, is not way off. It's probably close enough that you went out of your way to design a dual inlet. And then you state that you saw something better in the market, Whipple, and you said, oh, wait, I'm going to ditch my contract with Magnuson, which I've had for years, after the Rous deal went sour, right? The Rous deal went sour. You didn't want to be excommunicado from Rous, right? No. If you had it your way, you would still be with Rous. But whatever, I digress. Then you designed a dual inlet 2650, knowing Whipple had a Gen 5 out there. And if a Gen 6 is a rotor pack and lid difference, the inlet is the same. So now for whatever reason, y'all don't fuck with Magnuson anymore. I can't imagine why. And you say, well, we don't fuck with Magnuson. According to that video, it lends itself to make you think that we saw something better out there. Whipple. So he said, hey, Magnuson, we're good. We're not going to do this setup. So Rous swoops in, says, let's redesign something. We don't like this. We don't like that. Let's recast it. Let's make it have the feature. And again, Whipple is out there saying through their surrogates, dual inlets isn't about power. It's about emissions. No fucking shit, Sherlock. So the feature of the 24 Mustang is the dual throttle body. It's just a feature. Everyone knows the 24 Mustang has dual throttle bodies. The vast majority of people are not going to go racing. Again, Whipple, stop making your surrogates use this racing bullshit as a selling point because the vast majority do not race. So stop selling it as a race kit, because then you have to tell people, if you want the best blower that makes the most power, you have to remove emissions components. How many cats have blown up with Whipple superchargers on them over 11 PSI? There's a guy on my comment section who has blown up two motors. Two motors. Why? Due to clogged cats, according to him. I've personally seen clogged cats on certain supercharger combos that are too much boost. The stock catalytic converter does not like anything over 10 PSI. So if you're out there selling people on Torco, octane booster, 14 PSI, you better be selling them a header with the kit. Matter of fact, you should team up with Ultimate Header and say, here is a 800 horsepower kit, 3.5 pulley, 10% overdrive, or whatever the fuck you do, and headers. By the way, no warranty on this kit, and you're not going to pass emissions anywhere. Watch that kit sell 2-3% as opposed to the single throttle body, emissions compliant, low boost kit. The vast majority of your money is made by the regular guy, the normie. The guy that just wants a little extra oomph with the little thing in the head that he says, if it blows up, it's got a warranty. It's all good. So Rous is doing right by them. They're not out there going, we're going to push everyone's shit in. Rous has never done that. Rous has always said, We got some good calibration on this. We're going to keep the feature of the Mustang on it. It's going to make 810 behind the butt crack horsepower. It's going to make low 700s, high 600s to the rear wheel, and high 500s torque, which beats Whipple's latest low stage 1 kit. Like, Rous doesn't care because they're going to sell, and they have the Rous name behind it. So VMP's video was weird because they didn't even name Rous. They said, somebody out there has another kit. Say their fucking name. There's nothing, you're not saying anything super negative. You're saying the inlet that we designed isn't the inlet that they implemented, so we think it's going to do worse. So I ditched Magnuson and I went with Whipple. That's an honest video. But to say, well, you know, we saw technology out there not really jiving with what we wanted to do, so we went ahead and contacted Whipple. I think Whipple was your last leg to stand on. And if you didn't have them, the Magnuson deal was going to go down, and where would you be? That's what I think, based on an outsider's perspective. So let's look at real quick. Sam Alexander is a guy who has a little channel that he likes Tesla. He pushes Tesla stuff. But this beginning minute, and Sam Alexander, don't copyright my shit. I love you. I'm putting you on a little bit. Listen to what he says in the first minute of what the Cybertruck is doing against the F-150 Lightning.
Tesla's Cybertruck outsold Ford's F-150 Lightning in May. Now you might be thinking, hey, it's just May, it's 1 month, who really cares? But then look at this graph, and this is the actual sales data. This is Tesla Cybertruck and Ford F-150 Lightning US vehicle registrations from March of 2022, so it goes way back to well before the Cybertruck was in production, to May of 2024. And the reason they did that is because the F-150 Lightning was in production back then. And as you can see, the F-150 Lightning has had some ups and downs as far as sales and registrations go, and the Cybertruck is pretty much just a vertical line taking off. Now,
so basically, even though it's ugly, even though it's gimmicky, even though it doesn't do truck stuff as good as a regular truck, people are buying it. Why? Because it's a Tesla. It's like an iPhone. The iPhone never gets better. The iPhone 1 year has rounded corners. The next year has sharp corners. Then the following year, rounded corners. Then the next year, sharp corners. And you guys go, oh, it's better. And it's never better. It's the same phone, just with different corners. Tesla is giving you a truck. They have a sedan. They have an SUV. They have a crossover. And they have 2 crossovers. And they have a truck now, completing the lineup. So now they need a sports car, and it would be ridiculous if they could actually make that happen. But Ford wanted to get after it with Tesla. The F-150 Lightning to me was an afterthought. It wasn't that great, but I don't think it needed to be better so that people can make a comparison. They want the weirdo truck. I live in West Palm Beach County. I see 20 Cybertrucks a day. Like everywhere. Businesses buy them as a marketing tool. Rich people buy them just to be seen. I've seen blue wraps, chrome wraps, yellow wraps, green wraps, chrome green wraps. I've seen all the wraps on the planet in Palm Beach County only. Not talking Broward, not talking Dade, not talking, what the fuck is Orange, Tampa, Hernando, Rolando County. So I think Ford is doing a couple of big mistakes, raising the prices, hoping that people will buy an untunable Mustang that gets a Whipple at 12 PSI that totally doesn't blow up the cats, or a Rous Supercharger at 12 PSI that probably blow up the cats too. Or you can opt to get into a tunable car right now. The last thing I wanted to talk about is something I put out there on Toyota, supposedly, because Toyota supposedly is going to bring back the Celica. So I saw a rendering of a Toyota Celica. And I know you guys don't care, right? You're V8 guys. Okay, cool. 2025. There's a rendering of it, and it looks really good. And it's supposed to have, what is it? It's supposed to have a 400 horsepower, 2.0 turbo, all-wheel drive situation. And, you know, say what you want about the Mustang. This bitch looks good. If this Celica rendering is anything close to what they want to actually make, I know the wheels aren't, boy, if the wheels look like that, all-wheel drive, 2-liter, turbo, 400 horsepower, I mean, how much is it going to be? Can I tune it? Is it lighter than a Mustang? Oh, by the way, the M2 won our Car and Driver's Car of the Year. Just letting you know that the M2 Motor Trend Performance Vehicle of the Performance Vehicle of the Year. So we'll get after your questions, talk some shit, and whatever you want to talk about, we'll get after it. We got, is that just stock cats or even if you go cooked or something? Scott Franks, I don't like any aftermarket catalytic converters. I don't have any warm, fuzzy feelings about aftermarket catalytic converters. Whatever they're made of, they seem to melt pretty fast. So I think the stock ones don't lend themselves for big boost or even any moderate boost. Hell, go wide open throttle on a GT500, a stock 2020 GT500. Go watt 2 or 3 times. It stinks. It stinks. The catalytic converters are screaming. They hate life. Somehow they make it happen. Maybe the diameter is a little bigger, whatever, but the material is not doing all that good. Seen the pics of the Cybertruck in the ocean on fire? Nope. It looks like a warthog from Halo. I dig them. Sorry, but the Samsung is the same. Yes, but there is no fanatical nature about the Samsung. Nobody talks shit on the fact that you don't have a Samsung. Everyone talks shit on the fact that you don't have an iPhone. Matter of fact, whatever's in this S21 that's 3 years old, I guarantee the iPhone is just getting around to doing now. Leaving a like, deal, catch replay later. It's never better. I have a 14 and I miss my iPhone 8. Houston has a ton of Cybertrucks. I see one wrapped matte black, look decent. That sums up my iPhone experience. I now have an S24. It's the same truck. They keep rewrapping it, and that's funny. Can't tell me nothing negative about the Cybertruck. I got flashed for the first time by a lovely passenger in 1 week on 275. Made me love being a truck driver again. You got flashed for the first time by a lovely passenger in one last week. Gotcha. Same here in Naples. I see Cybertrucks daily, and a lot of them are wrapped with business logos. I have a few in my area in Illinois. I mean, it's going to sell. Alex, better check the garage. Didn't leave my gloves in this time. Alex Flores says, Alex, better check that garage. I hope I didn't leave my gloves in it this time. Let's check that shit live. Let's see what's happening. Let's see if anyone's out there doing some dumb shit. I don't think so. I think everyone's chilling, leaving my shit alone. Someone says, I love Celicas. The weirdest thing about the VMP BS, says Nardi Mikado, is they don't have a supercharger. All they have is a lid. Yes, the ones their in-house engineers totally designed. I actually wanted to see the engineering department, and I'm like, where's the engineering department? So there's my, no gloves. Everyone's good. No one's doing dumb shit. I'm watching my shit. I watch my shit all the fucking time. Now it's to the point where I watch that shit all the time. I want the new Toyota Celica. It looks really good. Guys, I'm not a Toyota guy, but small motors, all-wheel drive and turbo, you know how Ford did that. Not for all-wheel drive. Actually, yeah, the EcoBoost, the Explorer. But you're telling me a little performance hot hatch, all-wheel drive, 2-liter turbo? That sounds like a nice little road race car if you ask me. The Celica looks badass. Memories of all that all-track turbo. It does look really good. $70,000 minimum. A baby Supra. Gonna get the Beamer 4-cylinder. Give me that. Donald Trump's earlobe says, looks like an Acura in the back, but that's nice. Meh, still a Celica. Won't look anything like that. I know, but at the end of the day, you hope. You hope. Wouldn't surprise me if that Celica used the same powertrain as the GR Corolla. I saw some of the Toyota was also bringing back the MR2 with the same drivetrain as the Celica, but 400 pounds lighter. Hater Power says, won't look anything like that. But what if it does? What if it does, motherfucker? SK says, see that Celica and it looks badass. Better than the Supra, Toyota Z4. I blew my cats on a stock motor 5-liter F150. Brandon B says, Alex, thank you for everything. I was able to get it running with the tune and get to work the next day. You are the man. Yeah, Brandon B, we needed to assign a serial number. So I need you guys to really listen. Cloud Sync on the LRX is only for tuning. The rest has to be downloaded. Your data logs have to be downloaded. When we send you the email, guys, read it 3 or 4 times. On newer version software, you have to download the data log and send it to us in the ticket system, but the tune does sync. And on Brandon's Dakota was tuning it. He forgot to assign a serial number, but he did upload the tune. All I did was went in there at 10 at night, because that's what we do here. We take care of our own. He said, hey, Alex, hit me up on Patreon. Said, I hate to bother you. I don't got my tune. And I'm like, this motherfucker probably needs to get to work the next day. Popped on, put the serial number in there. He was able to load his base file that idled perfectly on his Vortec 2023 F150. So good for him. And I met him at TX2K, and he got me some coffee and a shirt. Good guy. Just left the shooting range and tuned in. You'd think the new competition, they'd want to lower the price. So Ford is doing something, I think, nearsighted. Maybe costs on their end of things have gone up, and they need to recoup. But the problem is this. The Mustang is not made well. The screens still have issues. Ben Calamer owns one of these. He says, Alex, while I'm driving, just driving down the street, 30, 40 miles an hour, the rear view camera turns on. I'm like, take it in for service. He goes, yeah, no. And then when I take like a left turn, the screens shut off. So that means there's a wire loose somewhere. So the cars are made by the United Auto Workers, some of the laziest sons of bitches on the planet. They make $100,000 a year, and they probably can't lift 20 pounds legally. So everything is tethered by this little line, the impact wrench, the wheels, the tires. There's big, massive robots. And once Elon Musk starts making robots, remember the movie iRobot, it'll be exactly like that. All the dumb little tasks will be gone. So you better become a robot technician. Corolla fanboys have entered the chat on the Celica talk. Cali is flooded with Tesla, says Coyote. Sucks, I gotta act like my car's stock at the light next to some Teslas. And tunable. My buddy has a new GR Corolla. Gotta imagine the Celica is just a bigger version of it. But how much horsepower does the GR Corolla make? If they're saying 400 horsepower all-wheel drive. The GR Corolla is pretty neat, but if I want a road race car, boy, I wonder if that's the smart thing to do. I'm not going to get into road racing until I at least sell the GT500 and Donnie. I have to be able to sell both of those to justify buying something else, to have the garage space to buy a car that I can road race. If not, chop it like a motherfucker. It ain't worth shit. Says, sorry, I'm late. It'll be the same price range as a GR Corolla, $45,000 to $60,000. Alex, you know when the LRX will be available for the 20 plus GT500? No. Insane and unstable motorsport. No, I do not know. There is no ETA for that yet. As of now, it is still only HP tuner. Interested in more of your portable garage AC setup? Yeah. I bought a Honeywell. Actually, I went on Amazon, and it was the same one as Home Depot, but next day shipping, and I didn't have to do shit. Just give them $500. It showed up on my doorstep. It came with a collapsible accordion style vent. Came with a tube, and it's Wi-Fi, so I could literally plug into the Wi-Fi network, connect it to the one, and on an app, I can actually turn it on and off or set schedules. So that's not the reason I bought it. I bought it because of the reviews of your recommendations, and it knocked down the humidity immediately. But I didn't run it long enough because I just got it today, and I wanted to just test it out before I got on the show. I'm willing to bet the Celica will be an all-wheel drive version of the Supra with a B58. No way. No way. No way. That'd be ridiculous. Corolla people are not Celica people. All track. Here we go. Celica GT4 going to be badass. I need an exoskeleton to put in floor mats. Don't forget the exoskeleton. UAW workers have to get in their cyborg suits. Imagine you buy a Dark Horse knowing some sorry-ass guy that stands for 10 to 11 hours a day, and every single thing he lifts is tethered by something, has 3 full brakes, and makes $100,000 a year, and the quality is shit. The quality on most American cars are garbage. Specifically, now imagine this. The Dark Horse and S650 are S550 chassis from 2015. So 2015 to 2024, we're almost into this chassis for 10 freaking years. The Fox body was around from 79 to 93. That's about 14 years. It's probably a sunset car. Like, how much longer do they think they can get away with smashing a new nose on this car, 3 more throttle bodies on it, and calling it revolutionary, new, and whatever? Like, the 79 Mustang to the 93 Mustang, You could damn near swap all the parts in and out of that bitch. You could put the whole front end into the freaking 79 and maybe vice versa, except for maybe some fasteners or holes or whatever. The whole interior can be put in. Maybe a couple of holes were missing here and there, but at the end of the day, it was all the same shit. So a 2015 S550 all the way to the current models are the same thing. I wonder if people understand that they're working with a sunset platform, meaning it's ending. The sun's getting really low. Se va a acabar el party. Nice, buddy. Glad to hear it's helping. Yeah, dude. Hater powered. It knocked down the humidity in less than an hour. And I was under the car looking at bolts and I was ordering stuff because I got to weld some stuff. I got to nut and bolt some stuff. So next week, I'm off. I'm not off of this, though. You'll see me next week. But I'm not tuning next week. I have a vacation week that I have to take. Because the third vacation week is during Christmas. So, and then I have another one that I could take, but I'm not going to take because where the fuck am I going to go? Unless I do a Friday here. I think taking Fridays off is kind of fucked up because, like, in my opinion, it fucks up the other guys. I don't want to stress out my guys. I'm leaving either for a whole fucking week so they can prepare for it or not. Anyway, I'm setting myself up so that on next week, I can do a lot of work on the Fairmont. I can damn near put the motor in section hate because I'm just going to because everything's on the ground. So I got to get everything in. So I want to put the transmission in. I want to put the motor in. I'll put the bell housing out. Basically, I want to put the motor in section hate so that all I got to do now is wait for the supercharger setup and get the harness from Jake and then harness, supercharger, turn it on. Let's party. B48, same thing. They put in the minis. No way the premium super engine will end up in the Celica. I wonder what's it going to take to, like, is anyone going to do something crazy? Like Toyota, are you going to do something crazy and put like a B58 in a little tiny car? Probably not. The last people to do anything crazy, unfortunately, was Dodge. And they put the Hellcat motor in everything. Durango, a truck, a Charger, a Challenger. Then they did the send-off to the Demon 170. And the rumors are that the Banshee is going to be quicker than the Demon because it's electric. At the end of the day, though, nobody cares. Why? It's going to be quicker than the Demon, but it's going to be less desirable than the Plaid because now we're dealing with electric versus electric. So you're going to say, wait a minute. The Plaid gets 300 plus miles a charge. Can run a 9.2 quarter mile, 0 to 60 in 1.9 supposedly, rollout included or not included. The Banshee's going to have what? A range of 200 miles, running 8.9 and not be any better than the Plaid? I'd rather get the Plaid. Fuck all that. Parker Performance, hey, I appreciate your email. Parker Performance sent an email thanking the kid for saying, hey, I appreciate you letting us be a part of your show. And I'm like, dude, you guys have been great. I haven't seen any issue. You guys have comported yourself in such a way that you guys should be part of the show. As long as you don't do any sideways shit, you're good to go. He says, hey, yo, what's good, Alex? What's up, Amory? Lower humidity is lower temperature, better than lower temp. Yes, I don't mind 91 degrees as long as the humidity is super low. GR Corolla has 300 horsepower, not bad. They can get away with the Silva Galarga. Just look at Dodge. They use that recycled Mercedes chassis since 2003. Toyota isn't taking a massive risk after the LFA. They lost their asses. The future for Toyota is all hybrid, all EV. Every new model coming out is a hybrid with a drain option. What's a drain option? Just finished a Gen 1 Paxton car with a torque booster. I would love to see those data logs. Just finished that Gen 1 Paxton car with the torque booster. Oil pump gear, crank sprocket, and crank sprocket. Stud job. Okay. Didn't enjoy the way the torque booster setup delivered power. So Parker Performance, this is what you feel with a torque booster setup, right? Woo, flatline. Right? You feel a quick run up, but then it flatlines when the wastegate opens. You go, whoa. I'd rather a TVS or Whipple that the torque comes in and it pulls all the way to 7,500 RPMs. The torque booster goes whoop, flatline. And that whoop is probably the wastegate not opening fast enough and you're like seconds away from chucking a rod. You're right. The Lucid is quicker than the Demon, and yet they're struggling against slower Tesla Plaid. So the balance will struggle too. Sorry if I change the subject. Personal question is Logan Walker. If you had a 2020 GT500, at what power would you build the motor? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would be a very responsible owner. Look at what's happening with my ZR1. Can I afford to go all out, 400 plus cubic inch, built, aftermarket shit, cam, heads, the whole 9 yards? Absolutely, I can swing it. That's the dumbest thing I could do in that car. It becomes unusable. It becomes my GT500. If I had a GT500, I'll be honest with you, it's a pulley, injectors, free-flowing exhaust, and E85. And I'm fucking done because that car belongs on a road course. If I want to roll race hardcore, ZR1 or a 10 or 80 ESS car. If I want to roll race and be budget minded about it. If I want to really get after it, I would do a twin turbo Gen 3 turbo 400 car or 10 or 80 super built car. But to your question, if you intend on making 1,000 plus for a long time, then I would build it. That's what I would say. And it's not you're not changing the subject. It's Mustang stuff, so it's all good. It was slow as fuck until the wastegate opened, and then it was too much power. Too soon for traction purposes. See what I mean? Oh no, it's way better. All these fucking idiots out there don't know a goddamn thing. I'm working on getting him over to Lund Tuning. Damn, oh, he's working with somebody else? Oh, bro. Utah County, Picasso's Paces. Damn, I caught it live. YOLO, what it do? Devin Smith says, I work at a dealership and down the street is a Ford dealership, but the amount of Mustangs that they sell is laughable. The same 5 S650s have been there in the same spot for the last 4 months. I mean, yeah. See, you guys see in your town probably the same 3 Mustangs. I've seen more Cybertrucks than I've seen S650s, even rental cars. Guys, I live in Florida. People come here to vacation. Rental cars are everywhere. I see more Cybertrucks than I see S650. Sorry, answering text. Shit doesn't stop. Shit never stops. It's always the same old deal. You got to answer text. People, things are flying. Things are flying. What do you think of those Florida FI Interchiller kits? So they have the benefit of form of racing or street driving. So the reason I am not a big fan of my ZR1 at big power is the amount of cooling it needs for me not to freak out over the IATs. I would love, in theory, to co-sign on interchillers. I don't know anybody that makes an interchiller that people rave about. People talk about them in theory, just like people talk about torque boosters in theory. In theory, everything is wonderful. In theory, everything should work. In theory, everything should be honky-dory. But in actuality, in practice, certain things aren't what they're, promoted as. So if I wanted to buy an interchiller kit for my ZR1, number one, what does the kit look like? Is it super nice hardware? Is it easy to install? How much, what's the time of install? You gotta, do you have to put the battery somewhere else? You gotta install a tank, you gotta run lines. At the end of the day, you go, well, it's not worth it. And honestly, my ZR1 at the power level it's at in normal weather is fine. 140 IATs, 150 IATs, I could live with that. 160, 170, no, not in Florida. I'm still shocked that Toyota put a BMW power plant in their flagship car, Supra. Super Dudes waited 17 years for a BMW M4, but it did well, Jamie Easton. It did well, so who cares? Thoughts on the new Prelude? Don't care. Now, we're not going to talk about Toyotas and Hondas all day. I just said that the Celica looked really good. I'm not in here going to talk about the Prelude. I'm not going to talk about other bullshit. Ryan Hammer says, I have a Ford GT500 with a free-flown exhaust, pulley, intake, and it's a fun weekend car. Leave it alone and sacao el party. Don't go too crazy. I would tell people you're going to start doing what the internet does. The internet builds it and you want to compete against guys that have maxed out credit cards, terrible lives. They make it seem, and they show you that they're doing well. Oh, that guy's doing really well. Look, he bought this, he bought that, he bought this. That dude has high interest shit. He rolls shit over. He plays with this money for that money. Then he builds another 1100 horsepower GT500, blows up, doesn't tell anybody it blows up, gets it built, doesn't come out anymore, and you're chasing your tail. Pulley, free-flowing exhaust, E85 injectors, and live a happy life. To say here, Alex, what drives better, a 2020 or a C6? C6. The C6 drives way better than any Mustang. Now, even when I had suspension on it, like an Eibach Pro kit, vertical links, I didn't have a special dampening. It drove pretty good, but the Corvette just handles that much better. But again, I'm comparing the cream of the crop C6, the ZR1. I mean, you could make the case that the Z06 is as good, but in a different application because it's NA, big power, well balanced. But in terms of handling, stopping, I don't see anything that I've driven that beats that C6. Ford sells a bunch of V6 convertible Mustangs to rental car companies, but I rarely see a privately owned S650 GT. Affirm, debt to all. Motherfuckers paying with Affirm credit cards. Well, if we're not talking shit about Hondas, what are we talking about then? 3 valves? You're not wrong. BMW makes the best inline 6 on the market right now. Would you rather the Supra have a shitty V6? Right. So name a current Toyota platform you would have preferred to have in the new Supra. So you guys think the 2J, like there are people that swear by the 2J, and that's fine. It's a decent engine, very decent. And now they make aftermarket blocks for it. But like none of that shit passes muster now. Like none of that shit is emissions compliant now. So BMW somehow made theirs work, and it works really well. And I really think I'm one of these crazy psychos that really think that the fucking Hurricane Dodge motor might be decent. And a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, you're fucking crazy. I'm like, no, I really think that the ceiling is high. Not the car, not the company, not the platform. And inline 6 has been proven to be a great racing platform. Look at BMW, look at 2J, look at Barra. Now they have a torquey twin turbo inline 6. And if it's twin turbo, you and I both know, or compound turbo, that the internals are forged. They're not going to put junk shit internals in a twin turbo deal that makes 500 plus horsepower. So the ceiling is high. So I have high hopes for it. That's all. Really, so the MagneRide suspension isn't great. Okay, the GT350 is still soft. Bear with me. If you set it at the firmest settings, when you take a turn where there's like a up and down, it's still on the softer side. It grips well and it handles well. It's the best, in my opinion, S550 handling car there is. The GT350, but I've never driven a GT350R. So again, the best I've driven was a tech package GT350. But you're comparing it against a $100,000 when new car, a ZR1. So I'm sorry, it's not that good of a comparison. The ZR1 was like a really fast car around the Nürburgring. Not that everyone gives a fuck. It went 200 miles an hour. I mean, and it was like a low 11-second car when it came out. So we're kind of comparing apples to oranges here. Cage50 asks, do I need a Ford Innovations dual pump or triple pump? I plan on making 850. Guys, dual. Triple, we're talking 1200 and up. And again, which triple? Triple 274 is just stupid. In my opinion, you should get twin 285s. And after the twin 285s are tapped out, you can get a third 285. So you can get a triple hat, but have two pumps. And then I know what you're saying. Should I buy the triple hat and just buy once, cry once, and only hook up two pumps? Sure, you could do that. But I don't think you need it unless you're making over 1,100 horsepower. Alex Flores says, I hear Justice. Oh, stop it. Look, she doesn't need to catch any shrapnel. Why are you guys going in on her? She didn't do anything wrong. Oh, gosh, you guys. I don't know why this chat goes in on other people, but it's funny. People swear by this 2J and have only had an IS300 with an NA variant. But 4s with bolt-on is crazy. I feel like the 3.8 Whipple ones go 3s regularly, but I agree the C601 is the holy grail, iconic. But 4s with bolt-ons is crazy. What are you talking about? 4s with bolt-ons? What are you talking about, Logan Walker? Where are you coming from with 4s with bolt-ons? Are you saying a Supercharger is a bolt-on? Let's be real, the 2J wasn't shit. The aftermarket made it something. Coyote is the modern-day 2J. Have you seen the Skyline V6? Oh, here we go. Now, a bunch of gay guys on the chat, apparently. Boy, BMW just hit high numbers with their shit. Ford's been running good numbers for years. You're not wrong, Ashton Munoz. A lot of people need to understand, that the Coyote has been kind of doing its thing since, I would say, 2015. 2015, that's when Ford introduced the Mustang as more of a racing platform. And you started seeing Ford Performance, Ford Racing at the time, really push racing. Again, guys, the way they introduced the Gen 2 to the world was drag racing and a pro-cal tuner and blower away from 10s. I thought that was so cool. Since then, nothing performance-oriented has been uttered. The GT350 and R were awesome for road race guys. Then you put boost in the bitch, and it became a roll monster. Like dumb. For 10, 11 PSI or 12 PSI, E85, 21 degrees of timing, bitch was fast. Twin turbo, bitch was fast. Fat House did their thing, bitch was fast. So Coyote's been doing a lot of things for a lot of years. BMW just started getting into it, and I think they have a good head start. Once tuning, transmission, platform verification, and lightweight parts start making their way, haven't they already gone 7s? BMWs, I think, have already gone 7s. I like to hit a 2GR from the IS350 and other models. It makes 311 NA, makes 700 wheel horsepower, stock long block. Oh, here we go. Juan, just paused and watched VMP vid. I find it hard that a tuner/sales company who developed a lid has engineers doing FEA and CFD analysis for flow. They don't. Come on, man. They probably take it to Nick James. Say, hey Nick, you wanna flow this shit? And then send me some numbers. And then, oh hey, this is what our in-house engineers came up with. As a matter of fact, according to a post, the lid is not designed by VMP, meaning it's the Whipple lid with a VMP logo. Like if you were to take off the lethal lid, the cuck lid, and the stock lid, and the VMP lid, what would be the differences in all of them? Because then that lends itself to, should I buy a VMP lid if it makes more power? Does the VMP lid make more power than the cuck, lethal, or stock lid? No? So what did your in-house engineers do? Like what did they do? They just put a VMP logo on it. Here we go. Where's Street Alpha to stop the BMW talk and school everyone? I think Street Alpha, great guy. I think he's realizing that the industry is full of shit the more he talks to more people. And I like that he's out there interviewing people. I like that he's out there, learning. And I think, if anything, he has learned how many people are full of shit out there. And that's good. I mean, sorry. And I think it's good because he understood that, man, I've been watching these guys from afar, and then when I interview them, I find out they don't know shit. Or I hear something from them, and then another shop says the opposite. So who's saying the truth? And then now he can't go out there and say anything. He can't go out there and say, what's up, guys? Street Alpha Podcast here. I learned every shop sucks. And the tuners that tune the cars are the ones that really know stuff. And the shop just regurgitates what the tuner says. And why do I say that? It's simple. If anybody does something repetitive, you get good at it, and then you see trends, you can literally put on a graph cars that will blow up between the months of late September, early December. There is a graph. Okay? And then you go, why is that? Simple. Now the car sees denser air. They had it turned up during the summer. Then the air's more dense. They kept the kill pulley on it, and then they're at the edge of the fuel system being able to keep up. And then all of a sudden they blow up. So now what I do preemptively is say this. By the way, this 12 PSI pulley in the heat, when it comes to November, it's going to feel really good, but we got to back it down. And they don't want to hear that shit. So we see a trend, we see graphs, we see a bunch of data that we then say to the shop, do this, do that. Because if you don't do this, and do that, this happens. Based on shit we see every day. So we warn people ahead of time. Hey, if, again, my favorite question, what do you want to do? If you want to go drag racing, if you want to make over 1,000, then when we can do that, we can go ahead and make a, here's your FIC 1000. But if you want to make more, buy something, give yourself some headroom. Sam 50. Sam 50 is a guy that I tune. He has an Illuminator Gen 1. Hits me up on Patreon. Alex, I'm only on 1050Xs. I want to turn it way the fuck up. What would you, no, I think he has FIC 1440s. I want to turn it way the fuck up. I go, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'm never going to be on pump gas. ID 1700s. He put a thumbs up. Why? I have ID 1700s in my GT500. I've run pump gas on them. The idle quality isn't great, but it runs. And with E85, that thing runs wonderful. I'm never going to run out of headroom. And if I do, I can just turn it up. And I know I have about 1,200 or so horsepower to play with, or maybe 1,300 horse before those injectors need to go away. Or I can't crank up the fuel pressure enough to be able to compensate. Or the pumps, whatever. So based on all this data, I'm sure shops, they just cookie cutter combos. Street Alpha shows up to these shops, asks them questions. They say some stuff. He goes, really? Then he goes to another shop. He goes, Then he goes to a third shop, and then he goes to a fourth shop. He goes, y'all don't know shit. Because now he's learning. And the more he learns and the more he hears shop talk, he goes, oh yeah, y'all don't know shit. So he can't say much. Will Whipple give you an OE carb number? Does VMP do the same? I think it's a Whipple product. So regardless of what you do, it's a Whipple product. Didn't VMP do the same with Magnuson and Whipple? Out their logo, they really didn't do anything. Yeah, so, okay. I think VMP, if we're going to go back in history, I think the biggest mistake VMP ever did was hey, what's up? Sam 50, I love this guy. You know why? Just one of those great customers. He's like Valley 10-speed. Just a great customer. He didn't trip. We were sending this guy tons of file. Didn't trip. Revision 14, revision 15. The dude just kept making watt polls, kept giving me feedback. By like the 16th revision, we had to switch strategies, and boom, we found something. And the car's been running great. Now he's out there enjoying his vehicle, and he wants to turn it up. ID 1700s, and let's go. Will 2019 Stage 2 Whipple be fine with stock cats? No. I can say this with absolute certainty. Not just no. Fuck no. So I think. Oh, sorry guys. I got 15 things going on. I apologize. So I think that if you go over 11 PSI and you do a watt pull and you do another watt pull, the cats are going to start stinking. And then what happens is this. They melt and clog, and you should be getting a P0420, P0430 code. Once you get a P0420, P0430 code, then all of a sudden that cat inefficiency is bad, whether it's clogged or hogged out, flowing too much, and it's spit out the back. So in my opinion, nothing over 10 PSI should be used on anything with stock catalytic converters. Speed Demon Racing, I think he does a lot of YouTube stuff. I think you do YouTube and Instagram stuff. You were at Texas 2K. He says, your thoughts on the Texas Speed sleeve short block. Okay, so let's talk about this. I don't dislike Texas Speed personally, but If you want to make big power reliably, guys, the Coyote market has gone through so many engine builders that I can almost count on my hand how many engine builders we've tried and have failed. And it's been at least 4. And the moment we went with FFRE and Speed Demon Racing, this is what I'm going to tell you. I have never seen an issue caused by the building process with any FFRE motor, especially their Gen 3 variant, their Gen 3 short block. Their Gen 3 sleeved short block has been 6s in a pretty heavy car. So if you want to use Texas Speed for whatever reason, I can't do anything about that. But I would highly encourage you to look at FFRE stuff based on experience. Again, guys, we see all the data. So every single time there's a hot engine builder, have you guys seen it? It's like a cycle. It's like Halley's Comet. Every 80 years, this guy builds the best engines, then he goes away. And this guy builds the best engines, then he goes away. And this guy builds the best engine, and he goes away. And then you hear FFRE. And FFRE. And then Mo Mackey gets an FFRE motor. And then Lund Racing gets an FFRE motor. And then Rami Zaidan gets an FFRE motor. And I'm like, there is no going away yet. So far, so good. You can do whatever you want to do with that information. I would never buy any Texas Speed product. Alejandro Flores, based on the data that I have and have access to, would never buy any Texas Speed product. Texas Speed giving Coyotes the LS treatment? No thanks. Look at what happened with Murder Nova. And again, nothing against you personally, but you popped off. Your truck hasn't run anything. And I feel bad because we tried to help you. We actually went out of our way to attempt to catch you before you did something. You did it anyway. The truck ran and then you've never seen it again. And he'll say, I don't care about that truck. Yeah, you do. Because you see Cletus out there going 8s. You see other customers enjoying their 21 to 23 Whipple F150s, just getting after it, running 940, running 930 on street trucks. Whipple, twin turbos, easy shit. And then your truck is still at probably Fuel Tech, chilling, or at your garage, not moving. Meanwhile, some beaner that comes from the oil field, works for Halliburton, drives his tacuache from Halliburton to a freaking track, runs a 9.4, then goes home with his stinky, nasty boots that his wife takes off while she's got birria tacos ready to go. Come on, stop it. Whipple should really jump on this and change the nice penny for custom lid customers. Okay, charge a nice penny. Gotcha. Let's go. Says, I have a Flowmaster Hushpower. You're done. You're done. Hushpower. You want to know the POV of a Flowmaster Hushpower in the cabin? This is every single Flowmaster owner experience in the cabin. 60 miles an hour, 2,000 RPMs in 6th gear. Just spit all over the mic. Buy an Illuminator Speed Demon Racing? I agree. Get an Illuminator. Just fucking live a good life. Yeah, but don't 3 Whipple ones run 3? What are you fucking talking about? ESS car went 3. If my stock Gen 3 blows, I'm getting an FFRE. This guy builds the best engine, then he cuts keys. When do you think... Bro, the dude is thinking about expanding. I'm like, you're going to expand that? When do you think someone will buy FFRE motors to try to replicate their product? It's already happened. The thing is, though, it's not something obvious. I think it's a process. I'll give you an example, right? So if you see, I'll give you a very good example of why when I used to work as a millwright, our shop was the best pump builder shop in the Northeast, at least quality-wise. Why? This is the difference, right? let's say there's a bearing on a journal. Okay, if you buy a motor or a pump from somebody to try to duplicate it, you look at it and you go, I don't see anything different. I see a bearing on a journal. I see this, I see that, whatever. Then when I install that bearing, I heat it up to 200 degrees and it slides on. Dink. Then I let it cool down, make sure the shaft is cool, put the snap ring on it, put the put the bearing cover on it, make sure that measure for slop, preload it with shims, right? You wouldn't know. Other shops take a bearing hammer, a race, like a hollow shaft, and they pound that bearing in. So you don't know by looking at it that he pounded the bearing in when it's installed. And then when you pull it with a puller, it already makes pull marks. So it's about the build quality, not necessarily the parts that are installed. Nobody's gone 8s on anything other than stock Coyote or FFRE. What are you talking about, Rad Dad? People have gone... MMR went 5s. What are you talking about, Rad Dad? MMR went 5s. They were like 5.6 or something. Murder no Fuel Tech F150 went awful quiet. What happened? Didn't listen. It's all good. Their reason is why Texas speed engines are given away to anyone. Tuition. Thank you, sir. One of on RTR. Okay, thank you so much for the tuition payment. I can't wait to whip my 2020 F150 waiting on a warranty in case a motor takes a crap. If you ever got your own Whipple lid, you got to make the post saying, thanks to my in-house engineering team, I was able to make this supercharger from scratch. Drone Masters, Fartmasters. Does Ultimate Header make long tube for 11 and 14 with H-pipe? Renee. Vamos a hablar contigo un poquito, papá. The Coyote is a high revving motor. The Coyote is not a muscle car. No matter what you do to this motor, it will not sound like a small block Ford. It will not sound like a Chevy 350. It will not sound like a stroker. It's gonna be a high revving dual overhead cam motor. Put an X pipe on it. Let it sound like it's supposed to sound. These people with their oh, I don't like this X pipe. It sounds too high pitched. Oh, you mean like a dual overhead cam motor? Devin TK, can I ton a larger pulley? Wow. How did you get ton? Like, did you mean install? How did you get ton after that? Can I ton a larger pulley on the stage 2 Whipple to lower boost until I get headers? How did you do that? How did you say ton? Why did you say ton? Run. Oh my God. Can I run a... I speak jive. Mama, don't cut me no slack. I speak jive. Mama don't raise no turkey. Man, mama, I dug old rap. Mama, it's to the bone.
He said...
Can't hang.
Oh, stewardess.
Oh, he can't hang.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, hold on.
Mofo butter lamb into the bones.
Man, can I roll me a Whipple?
Something?
She mofo butter lamb into the bone. Jacking me up. Tight me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Cuddy said he can't hang. Excuse me. I speak jive. Does he need an aspirin or remedial English? Corsa sounds good on Coyotes. No, they sound like shit. Lesko says, I know Hushpower is not good. It was on the car when I imported to the EU. Would you recommend Valvetronic muffler kit? Need valves and I want to be 100%. Need to import. What the fuck did you just say? What kind of car you got, bro? What the fuck? Let's go up top a little bit. See what the fuck he said. Let's go. I have a Flowmaster Hushpower. Would you recommend a valve? No, I don't recommend any Valvetronic. Let's go. What the fuck are you talking about? Valvetronic? Where'd you even get that? Hello, would you recommend the Valvetronic muffler? No. A single tip GT500 or a MagnaFlow Street Series. but I want to have adjustability on the button. Shut the fuck up. You get a single tip GT500 muffler or MagnaFlow Adult Series or a Cook's catback like I have. Tuhita Putty Tat. Okay. I'm going to put a W pipe on my car because W is for win. That was rough. I thought he was trying to say tune. Me too. How do I teach these kids? UAP of Phoenix says, I have a UAP is like an unauthorized aerial phenomenon or unidentified aerial phenomenon. Is that what is UAP like UFO? Is that what you mean by the username? I have a 16 PP, very low mileage, and a new Whipple, never installed, if anyone is interested. Gotcha. I have to concentrate when typing on the YouTube keyboard. Yesterday's price is not today's price. What headers do you suggest for 2020 F-150? Haven't found ultimate header for the F-150. Unfortunately, it's going to be American Racing or Cooks are the only reason. And there's like a Bobo-ass China company that makes them, right? What's the Bobo-ass exhaust company that y'all run F-150 headers on? Bro, got Alex making squeaky noises. Wait. Oh, I think my voice, I think meant the chair. Chair don't make the noise no more. But the thing about letting melt to the bone, man. I can't hang. Cut me up inside. Valvetronic mufflers are very common in the Euro world, and they're pretty damn good quality. Shut the fuck up, hater powered. Shut the fuck up. Valvetronic. Here we go. Valvetronic. You know what's also really popular in the Europe world? Not brushing your teeth. Stupid. Not flossing. Hello. Where are you from? Take control of your exhaust. This is stupid looking. Pre-burnt tips. Any exhaust that has pre-burnt tips can suck my nuts. BMW Universal Valve Muffler Kit. Whoa, we got a Universal Valve Muffler Kit. Boy, this looks like an O-pipe. This is terrible. Oh my God, guys, shut the fuck up. You guys run this junk? Hater Powered said this is top quality stuff. What the fuck? It's got a low vacuum bypass actuator. What the bro, cállate la boca. Man, get out of my fucking stream. Get the fuck out of here, man. It looks like shit. Boy, that's junk. 2M, 3M, 2M, 2M. That's right, the company 2M. Some junk-ass China company. Temu exhaust. Usually you'll see Valvetronic on Porsche stuff because it works. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Winner gets my ass. He sounded like he owns a Grand Am GT. LTH makes a header for 2M. 2M is 749 for headers, no hangers. Are you still planning on doing Coyote engine with a carburetor? Yes. There's a guy in Lake Worth or Boynton Beach that hit me up and he's like, bro, I got a carb hat for you. And I'm like, bro, let's get after it. Type it on the phone too fast. Misspells happen. Can't brush what ain't there, Alex. Just watch a VMP video. Is my Odin junk now? Could you imagine? You developed an Odin. You said Odin was the shit when you had the Gen 5 at... fuck this. Whipple Gen 5. Gen 5. Supercharger. So, this is the Whipple Gen 5. Then I'm going to find Whipple Gen 6. Whipple Gen 6 Supercharger. Gen 6. Okay, 2024 Mustang Gen 6. Okay, good. Okay, so AmericanMuscle.com. What is this? Damn it, American Muscle. For performance. No, I need a... No. There you go. Power by the Hour. Perfect. Check it out. Power by the Hour's got the SEO on lock. This is, look at it closely, guys. This is a Whipple Gen 5 Supercharger. This was out when VMP was developing the Odin. Okay? No excuses. This was out. And your response was the Odin, right? Your response to this supercharger, VMP, was the Odin. And now this supercharger is way better than your Odin? And you, knowing this was out there, went from this to this, and somehow the rotor pack alone with element 115 on the tips just generates octane and power. You designed the Odin with this out there. Then Whipple came out with this. And then you make fun of Rous's. Oh, by the way, you actually made a dual inlet design while the Gen 5 was out. Then Rous incorporates a similar dual inlet design, and now you're Odin shit. I am blown away by this thought process. Like I cannot make connections from one to the other. I cannot make a connection when there's a Gen 5 Whipple out there ready and running with it has a single big intercooler brick. It has a single lid, meaning one big intercooler brick, where the Odin has two. So the Odin, after the Gen 5 Whipple was out, was designed with two intercooler bricks. Why didn't you design it with one big one? Dude, I'm... Alex Flores' op says, I imagine I had a stolen bunch of VMP Odins and then they released that video. How the fuck am I going to sell these on the street now? Ooh, interesting. I wouldn't run that if it was given to me. Looks like an extra weight Valvetronic. You don't like Stainless Works exhaust headers? I don't care for them. I don't care one way or the other. One more Valvetronic and one for sure, right? Trump Blowsters 2000s are nasty. Hey, Alex, says Tyler Hewerman. Say you have a Gen 2 6R80 mostly stock. How would you spend $10K on it just to mess around on the street and maybe run the track once a year? Very easy. VMP Gen 3. Shafts. VMP Gen 3R. Rear feed. Kenny Bell 168. Exhaust. Axles. Fuel system. Boy, that's probably more than 10K. Well, I would say, okay, drive shaft and axles is going to be like fucking close to $4,000, right? A drive shaft's like 1,000. Axles are like 2,000, so $3,000. Fuel system, $2,000. So now you're $5,000. Then I would get some kind of boost. Are we talking new or used? Used, you can find a Gen 3 kit, Gen 3R rear feed for probably $4,000. So yeah, I'd still do it that way. Gen 3R kit, rear feed, fuel system, shafts, drive shaft. Just have some fun. Doesn't have to be super optimal. It'll be a lot of fun. Someone out there is paying a firm $600 a month with a 20% APR for an S650 Whipple. One more Valvetronic comment and I'm putting a fool on timeout. Good. VMP basically made a video saying the engineering team is ass. We failed, but our competitor, I love you, quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick. Like, well, we instituted a brick design that's totally different. Where's half a brick? The Gen 5 was out there, and it had one intercooler brick. So when we decided to put quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey! But look, the Gen 5 had a single intercooler brick. And then you decided to put quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey! You put two bricks on the bitch. And probably saying this is better when the Gen 5 Whipple was out. As a matter of fact, has every upside down Whipple always had one big quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey! So weird. I think what needs to happen is a lot of people need to like listen to what they said like 4 years ago before they make a video rawing the Whipple. And then like, let's really talk about this. Why is it that people that used to work for VMP, like, which one do I believe? When I worked at VMP, I didn't say VMP had the best tuning. I said, you want to go fast, you go Lund. You want to tune from VMP, you are entitled to it. But if anyone can find me saying VMP had the best tuning while I worked at VMP, I will give you $100. If anyone finds a video of me saying VMP is the best tuner out there while I worked for VMP, I will give you $100. But what's happening now is people that used to work at so this is the best tuner. Now they're saying Whipple is the best. Get the fuck out of here. What's next? When you go to work at ESS is the best? Even the Edelbrock has a better intercooler than Odin. I think so. That's why I ran the E-Force. I ran the E-Force for a reason. Stop it. I think the E-Force is the better blower than an Odin. How about that? Junior might disagree, but Junior hasn't driven an E-Force 2650. Orale, tío, dropping a like. Catch replay tomorrow. I saw a Gen 3 arcade being sold for $5,500 yesterday. 750. Shoot that shit my way, bro. Shoot that shit my way. I might need that. Because I haven't heard shit from Magnuson. I haven't heard shit from Rous. And I'm just, and I don't think MFP is going to be done in time. By the time I need it, I cannot. I love you, MFP. I love you. You guys are great. I needed this shit yesterday. I needed everything yesterday. Because next week, the motor's probably going to be in the GT500. Did Ford fix the shift fork issue, MT84D4? I researched, but I can't find any answers. I think they fixed it not fixed it, but they made it a little better in 19 and up. Is nitrous a waste of time on a Gen 1? It's a waste of time on any Coyote unless it has boost. For 10K, I know you hate NA, but get out of my life, Coyote. Get out of my life. Weight cut for 10K? Listen to your fucking comment. For 10K, I know you hate NA, but with Comcam CJ setup with weight cut is a mid 10-second car for under 10K. Okay, so get yourself a $5,500 VMP Gen 3R kit, a tune, and exhaust. A full weight 1050, 1040 car or 9-second car with race gas. Stop. Please stop. Thick Boy Swim Shirt says, hey Alex, I just picked up a 15 Gen 2 S550 stick and I'm wondering about oil. What the fuck planet are we on? It's 2024. Someone's asking about a 2015 GT oil recommendation. Thick Boy Swim Shirt. I need you to do me a favor. Go outside to your car. Open the hood. What's it say on the cap? Where do you suggest getting axle parts and drive shafts? A lot of companies make them for performance, but they're like $2,000 or G-Force. Alex, I have an E-Force 2650 brand new in the box. Stop it. Stop telling me those things. Stop saying that. I don't, you're probably going to want like $6,000. I'm good. Alex says, Alex Flores stops says, I remember asking Alex if VMP was the best tuning. He said, look, man, I'm just here, man. Just buy a dyno, run, hat, or a shirt. Wait a minute, what? Alex Flores' ops says, I remember asking Alex if VMP was the best tuning. He said, look, man, I'm just here, man. Just buy a dyno, run, hat, or a t-shirt. That sounds like something I would say. Like, seriously, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's the best fucking shit ever. Thank God you got rid of this stupid shit. I made a mistake of getting dyno tune at VMP for Gen 2 2.3 Rous. Got one of their packages and it ran 0.1 faster than the Rous tune. Wow. How the hell would you go CJ instead of going boost? Again, people like that need to like be excommunicado. Is Gen 1 Coyote worth building? I see everyone just buying a Gen 2 3 bottom end for their build because it's cheaper above average for about 900 horsepower. Hey Alex, how often do you use the high pressure fuel pump go? How often do the high pressure fuel pump go out on the Gen 3 Coyotes? If I've seen 2 total, it's too much. Thick Boy, just use the oil from the burgers you buy every day. He says, Alex Flores says, ops. Bolt-on cars worrying about oils. 11 and 12 single tips are goated. Exactly. Stay off Facebook and quit worrying about oil. Jesus. How's this Ritsu? Unless you are road racing, trying to go mid to low 8s, don't bother spending money on weight reduction. Just get wheels, tires, and go boost. Parker Performance says, NA is a loser's game. Parker Performance, a shop that could probably charge you 400 hours of labor, says the following. NA is a loser's game, boost or bust, unless it's a part that stays with the boosted setup, wasting time chasing your tail. Sent it to your Ydbt email. Love you. Let me see what's going on. Bye-bye. Oh, Jesus. What is happening here? Okay, so we're going to look at this $5,500 Valvetronic exhaust China. What the fuck's happening? AJ's the guy. Jesus Christ. AJ's. I'll get the fuck out of here with this Valvetronic stupid shit. Fuck out of here. Gen 3R kit. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. The Coyote House. The Coyote House. That's the guy up in Jersey, I think. VMP Gen 3R entire kit. Look at this kit. The PMAS with the see-through. Twin 60 or Twin 67 looks like. It's got the green belt. It's got the VMP Gen 3R. That bitch can make 1,000 with the right combo. Not on a low compression illuminator. It'd probably need, 32 PSI, which blow up the car. Alex, one thing I left about the ESS forums, just sticking to the Lund page. Aldo kit has been ordered. New setup coming in Valley 10-speed. You are going to love it. And you're going to love being off of the ESS forums. The ESS forums have been co-opted by those fuckers. Like those guys that hate ESS, the guys that push Vortec and Paxton. All of a sudden, they're on the ESS forums. I am not on the ESS forums. I don't. And again, nothing against ESS. I think ESS is a good product if you want to stay sub 900. But if you want to go racing, we just shove turbos or PD blowers on this bitch. I'm saying racing at a track. Roll stuff, the ESS does extremely well. But the forums are aids. I don't want nothing to do with them. What does a cam reset relearn do? When would it be necessary? Thanks if you see this. 50 Stevo, keep alive memory. Cam is keep alive memory. So let's say, for example, your fuel trims learned an incorrect value because you were doing heavy decels or you had an air leak that you fixed but never reflashed the tune. A cam reset resets all of the learned fueling and driving habits. I think driving habits like keep alive, I think, is either fuel trims or all learned properties. But for fueling purposes, let's just say it resets your fuel trims. 540 for Coyotes in warm climate, 93, 550 for them on 85. Valley 10 is going to be fire. His Aldo kit, I don't need to change the tune that much, bro. That guy was recently on with Tukes Street Alpha podcast. Oh, you're saying the Coyote House? It was a while back. The DMAS. 520 is fine for economy and everyday driving and run heavier oil to best protect the modded engine that's driven hard. More pews or booze. Can't wait to see Valley running the Aldo kit. Me neither. Literally the same tune, Papa. Just a MAV curve change and maybe some cam timing stuff. And then you got to learn that boost controller. One slow 2 valve? Oh no. Alex, be completely honest. What do you think about the Gen 4 oil pumps with the belt? I don't like them. I don't like belts and oil. I'm not a big fan. I know timing chains and whatever. I'm not a big fan of belts, but they, I hope, must have done some testing. But how much work would it be and how often do belts stretch, snap, or let go on Gen 4 Coyotes? Maybe in 3 years we'll know if belts start stretching and having an issue and have to be changed, and it's a fucking 20-hour job. You really should to have Ydbt recommend packages for specific setups that you have recommended in various shows on DNA Performance and Parker Performance. I agree. There should be packages that are Lund approved. But I understand Lund doesn't probably want to put their name behind certain packages, like blower companies. The American flag with the Lund flag in the background on Valley's profile pic goes hard as fuck. Long-term memory, basically. Yeah, that's what I tell people. Basically, keep alive memory is the long-term fuel trim learn value, and you just reset that shit. Rubber and oil, that belt is the dumbest thing Ford ever did. They should know better. I don't understand how submerged rubber and oil outlasts billet. I'm wondering what the engineers were thinking. Well, my voice just like cleared up. I'm wondering what the engineers were thinking. Like parasitic loss? I would think you'd have more with, well, I don't know. Maybe premature wear. See, Ford has access to whatever Ford has access to. You know what I mean? Like Ford has access to Ford stuff. That's why when you see project cars, they have like funky like parts bin shit on it. But they don't have like TSS oil pump gears. Like Ford, if they build a car, let's say Ford builds a car to go racing, will it have TSS oil pump gears? No. It'll have Ford performance stuff. And then maybe they R&D that. and they go, our oil pump gears are showing where our crank sprocket is showing this. So we are going to redesign the oil pump feature based on our oil pump performing this way. I don't think Ford goes, what do the hobbyists do? The hobbyists don't buy your stuff. The hobbyists won't buy your axle shaft. Like, have you seen how expensive half shafts are? Let's go to FordPerformance.com. FordPerformance.com. And then we're going to go to G-Force, and half shaft. There we go. I don't want to promote that company. I don't want to promote that company. Okay, good. And Ford Performance. So parts. Okay. So parts catalog. Not a catalog. I want to see parts. So we're going to go to driveline. We're going to go to axles. Complete axle assembly? No. No. Come on. No, not complete axle assembly. Let me, so you guys can see me doing it at the same time, because I'm stupid. Parts, drive shafts, spring, clutch, axle shafts. Okay, so high performance 2015 to 2024 half shaft upgrade kit, $2,500. Does not fit 2020 GT500, fits 15 to 2350 and GTN EcoBoost. Supports up to 1,500 horsepower. Billet 34 spline, 32 outer. Built by GeForce Engineering. Then you go to GeForce Engineering and you buy a Renegade half shaft kit. What's the power it's good for? Doesn't say. Powder coated black. So Cobra Renegade 31 spline. Oh, so basically this is G-Force's upgraded half shaft. 31 spline, and this Ford one is 32 spline. $2,500. Yeah, I'm buying the G-Force ones that are Renegade, because I honestly, like, after a certain amount, you're just going to have to shove a 9-inch in the bitch. Like, you're crazy. So that's what I think happens. I think Ford goes to the track racing with the parts that they have, then they R&D their stuff, and then they make future adjustments to their stuff. I don't think oil and rubber mixing is ever a good thing. But Alex, did you know that that if I grind half my car off, I can run 10s with bolt-ons? Chat, get those likes up. 442, 284. Yeah, I get it. Didn't Ford have 1.5, 1.6 EcoBoost that had a belt drive oil pump that's already grenading at 100,000 miles stock? That's actually not bad, 100,000 miles. The NA route is a cul-de-sac that ends at a long-time headers and PMAS blower time. After that, Alex, random question. Who's your Mount Rushmore of automotive pioneers? John Coletti, Carol Shelby. John Coletti, Carol Shelby, Lee Iacocca. You're saying performance or just automotive pioneers? I mean, fuck Coletti and Carol Shelby. We're talking, who's the fucking Ford guy? Fuck me. Jesus. There we go. What? I thought Henry Ford, Lee Iacocca, Carol Shelby, because he brought two totally different things together. He brought a Ford engine into a European-made car and made magic. To this day, that's one of the more recognizable cars out there. Not Steve Saleen. Believe it or not, Jack Roush. Jack Roush built a big, massive, NASCAR shit. He was into road racing. He was into drag racing. He currently still pushes a drag racing program. He has an in with Ford and pushes F-150s and S550s and even S197s. Actually, he's had Roush stuff ever since the two-valve days. So I think Jack Roush, Henry Ford, Lee Iacocca, Carol Shelby. Not like Coletti was more like a guy that was a performance guy in the sub category. No, I don't think Coletti would be in the Mount Rushmore. What's the shift schedule on a 10 or 80? Asking for a friend. What drag screens do I get for my S197? I don't want to support the three-letter red company. Honestly, I like the stock stuff and the rears, like some Ford Performance stuff, and they've actually worked pretty damn good for me. Taking a page out of that dude who revals Vikings, GeForce makes Ford performance ones. Looking at a 01 tomorrow, Alex. Thanks for the insight on Patreon. Dawson Evans got like the most crazy. Someone said, you got to buy a car. Here's a bunch of money. Could you imagine someone saying, I'm only going to give you money if you buy a badass car? I'm like, dude, buy a built ZR1. Don't waste your money on a GT500. Fuck all that. Bob Lutz, Zora, a pioneer, breaking the Trump shooting from last week has now body cam footage being revealed. Time to look that up. The guy who did Hendrix Motorsport died in a plane accident. Mr. Lund, Celine is the king of wood screws. Rous supported the shitload of people with their badass crate engines. Corvette guy for sure. Found a way to make a cheap, high-performance sports car. All right, guys, I'm out of here. So we talked about VMP putting out a weird part 2 of the video that actually makes it even worse. Like, makes you just not make connections that you thought you were going to make with the. You would think that they would. They seem to be like salty against Rous. Like they're going all in against Rous. And if Rous is putting out an 810 horsepower, 600 pound-feet of torque kit out there that is emissions legal, nobody cares about the ceiling of the Whipple kit. Nobody cares because the vast majority, the 80 to 90% of the people are going to stay on pump gas and stay on a warranty and be happy campers on the untunable dud S650. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. The announcement for the ZR1 happens on the 25th. That just happens to be on Ydbt Daily. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of numbers they put out there. We'll see if they put out performance numbers. And we'll talk about that more than likely on Ydbt Daily. Have a good rest of your day. I will